Whenever I come out here, in the quiet and the stillness, that's where I find God. It's funny, I go to all these, modern churches, mega churches. They have, fog machines. And I'm thinking, why do they need a fog machine, Do they have to, like, manufacture the Shekinah glory of God because, with the fog machine, that's what's taking replace, is that taking the place of the real glory of God? I don't know. But what's with the fog machines? And they have, laser light shows and colored lights and all the special effects and all that. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just show business, right? I mean, I understand if you're a rock band and you're on tour, you gotta wow people, but I don't know. I don't want to judge, but I don't feel God in all that artificiality. The fake fog machine and the lasers and the Jesus Christ rock star. Everybody gets in the spotlight and they become the super Christian, and it's not like Jesus said where your left hand not knowing what your right hand is doing. No, like it's like spiritual competition with each other. They're all, it's, oh well, I pray this much, and and I fast this much, and I gave this much, and what did Jesus say? Jesus said, when you fast, when you pray, when you give, you're not supposed to let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. It's supposed to all be in secret. So I'm just saying, like when I come to a place like this is where I feel the Spirit of God. He's much stronger here. I can hear his voice in the quiet of the wind speaking to me much, much easier than I can in a megachurch with clanging cymbals and all the noise and the giant, 50,000 megawatt sound system or whatever, and the lasers and the fog machines. And I just want to encourage you, my friends. This is what you need. You need to find yourself a quiet place where you can literally hear the sound of the wind blowing through the trees. And I guarantee you will connect to God and you will hear the voice of God. And I'm not telling you not to go to church. I'm just saying, if you find it difficult to hear his voice, or if the constant noise and, it seems like they're always terrified of silence in these churches. They gotta, the show must go on. They gotta keep the dog and pony show going, or they might lose your attention or lose your interest. And you're like, how come I don't hear the voice of God? Well, you gotta follow Jesus's example. Jesus always went out up into the mountains to pray, into the wilderness alone to pray. His disciples were always asking, where's Jesus, man? Where'd he go? And they're like, he went wandering off by himself again, off into the wilderness to pray. But that's because Jesus knew a secret. We have to be alone with God. And it's not about, and it's not a spiritual show. We don't get up on a stage in a spotlight and try to look more spiritual than the next guy, or a personality cult where we're trying to win this human's favor. No, it's all about Jesus. We gotta find a quiet place. Each of us has to find our version of the wilderness or of the mountains. And for me, it's sand dunes. There are no mountains in Florida. This is flat land, for Pete's sake. But maybe for you're lucky enough you actually have mountains. You can go up there and pray. Maybe you have woods. Maybe you're in an urban area and it's hard for you to get away from people. But maybe you could just find a room that you can get to somehow, or a building, or a roof, or just someplace private where you can be alone with him. And I guarantee you, once it gets quiet enough, you'll be able to hear his voice speaking to you. It's like on the wind. It's a whisper. And the world drowns him out because it's constantly making noise. It can't abide silence, and the show must go on. The dog and pony show must continue. They can't, from the cradle to the grave. They have to keep you distracted and occupied, and they can never let you have a moment of silence to actually hear his voice. But I promise you, find your place, and it might be a time. Sometimes I come out here and it's full of tourists and I can't get a moment alone with God. But sometimes I'll come out here at 2 or 3 in the morning and there ain't nobody out here but me. Just me and Jesus, all by our lonesomes. Ooh la la. And when it's just me and him, we get intimate with each other. And he tells me things. And he'll tell you things. So I'm just encouraging you, my friend. Find your quiet place, wherever that might be. Get alone with him. And he'll tell you what's coming. He'll tell you. He'll help you get ready. He'll help you prepare. I promise you. He'll meet you there. If you're willing to just tune everybody out. So it's just you and Jesus. That's what you need, my friend.